Hi friends, welcome back. We're talking today about triangle similarity, side, angle, side. So we've already talked about angle, angle, and we've talked about side, side, side. So now we're going to talk about side, angle, side. The way that this works is if you have two triangles and you have two sides that are proportional and the angle in between them is congruent in between those sides, then those triangles are similar based on side, angle, side. So here is for your notebook the full definition. If the measures of two sides of a triangle are proportional to the measures of two corresponding sides of another triangle and the included angles are congruent, then the triangles are similar. Okay, so if we do, let's take a look at this first example here. All right, so what we have is we're going to determine if these two triangles are similar based on their sides and their angles based on side, angle, side. And if they are, we have to write a similarity statement. So let's take a look. I see that 44 is the smaller, so I'm going to do small and then the large. And I'm using these hash marks that we typically use for indicating congruent, but these are not congruent. I'm just using it to help me mark things so that I have it in the right order. So don't be confused and don't assume that that means they're congruent. Here's my small one and here's my medium one. So this is why it's a good idea. Do you see my small is on the side here, whereas my small is on the side this way on the other one. Okay, so I want to compare the same things. So we're going to say 44 over 11 equals, because I want to do my 1 dash, 52 over 13. And again, order really matters here because you want to make sure that you are comparing the same, if you're comparing your big one on upstairs and then your small one downstairs. Okay, so if we do this, we've got 44, and if we divide that by 11, I don't know why I just did that on the calculator, we get 4. And then if we do 52 divided by 13, we also get 4. Okay, so if we compare those two things, beautiful. That means that, well, it means a couple things. One, our scale factor is 1 to 4. If we go from this one to this one, it would be 1 to 4. But it also means that these two sides are proportional. And we know that the included angle, which is marked as 38 degrees on both of those, that is congruent. So that means that these two triangles are similar. So how do we write our our similarity statement? Okay, so we're going to start with the first one, triangle, and it doesn't matter how you start it. What does matter though is the second one. So if I do this, if I say FHG, that I'm going to do my 1 dash and then my 2 dash. So FHG is similar to, then I'm going to do my 1 dash and then my 2 dash. So that's going to be UST. There's my similarity statement. Okay, and you can write similarity statements a couple different ways, so keep that in mind. All right, example number 2. Let's take a look at this guy. So we have these two triangles, and we want to see if they're similar by side, angle, side. Now, the first thing I notice is there's not 3 sides there, so it can't be side, side, side. And in this case, I'm not given 2 angles. So I look at this and I say, okay, well, I've got these parallel sides. And if you remember back to a previous lesson, when you have 2 parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, you have alternate interior angles or alternate exterior consecutive angles, consecutive interior, consecutive exterior, and then corresponding angles. So you can deal with all of those. In this case, corresponding angles, angle M and angle N here are corresponding because they are cut by this transversal right across the top. And because we are told these are parallel. So fortunately for us, that means that it's the angle included in between these two sides. So now let's compare our sides. 120 is going to be compared to 50 here. And then on this side, 84 corresponds with 35. Corresponds with 35. All right, lob off my zeros here, and I'm left with 12 over 5. And then here, if I do divide by 7, I get 12. Divide by 7, I get 5. So 12 over 5 equals 12 over 5. Yes, that is true. And these are congruent. So that means that these are congruent by side, angle, side. Now, let's write our similarity. It's not congruent. They're similar. Ooh, these are similar by side, angle, side. Let's write our similarity statement now. AMN. AMN, and then we want to be sure we go in the right order, is going to be GNP. Triangle GNP. Excellent. Okay, now that you know side, 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 angle, and angle, let's compare these. So if you take a look, grab your notebook and you may want to pause the video to write these guys down. So let's get in here. Okay, so let's look at this first one here on the left. Now, there's no sides given here. So remember, we have angle, angle, similarity. We have side, side, side similarity. And now we have side, angle, side similarity. So if I look at this and I see that there are no sides given, then it's probably going to be angle, angle. But I see that there's only one angle marked on this. But remember, your obvious but not givens is this guy. That angle C corresponds to the angle C on the big triangle, which means that those two angles are the same. So in the little triangle, we have two angles, and in the big triangle, we have two angles that are congruent to the others. So these guys are similar by angle, angle, similarity. We don't even need to know what angle C is because we know it's congruent just based on, that's called the reflexive property. So with that said, we have to write a similarity statement, CDE. So that's going to go like this. CDE corresponds to triangle, or similar to CQP. CQP. All right, let's take a look at number 2 here. I'm given two sides this time, so it can't be side, side. It can't be side, side, side. It's probably got to be side, angle, side. But I'm not given an angle. That's all right. You got to remember, we know to do our obvious but not givens. And in this case, vertical angles. This is congruent to this guy. Okay, so let's see if we can compare these. Now, again, I like to mark it using not, I know that we reserve this for congruent, but I'm just marking it to show that they match up. This is my small, this is my medium, and then this is my small, and this is my medium. So when I go to compare these, now I can do it accurately. 25 matches up with 35 here, corresponds. And then we've got 45 and 63. All right, divide by 5, I get 5. Divide by 5, I get 7. Divide this guy by 9, I get 5. Divide this guy by 9, I get 7. So 5 over 7 equals 5 over 7. These guys are similar, yes. And because the included angle, it has to be the included one. It can't be one off to the side. So these are similar by angle, side, angle, side, similarity. And we already have RST. So RST. Okay, so I went from my 1 dash to my blank one. So I got to do the same here. RDE. So triangle RDE. Okay, let's take a look at 2 more here. On number 3 here, we have, okay, again, we see that there are not 3 sides, there's only 2 sides. So we're probably going to be using side, angle, side. Let me make sure it's focused there. So we know that we have this vertical angle that's included in between them. Now, I feel like that keeps going out of focus there. Sorry, friends. Okay, so now what we have is 27 is my smaller one, and then 28 is my bigger one. Down here, these are exactly the same. So already I can tell these are probably not going to be similar. So if I do this and mark it, I would get 27 over 182 equals 28 over 182. And that statement is not true, not true. So these are not proportional. So these are not similar. Okay, and then in my last one here, I have all 3 sides. So in that case, we want to use side, side, side. So if I do small, medium, large, and then I'm going to do my small, medium, and then my large. Okay, so that will help me correspond, or that will help me accurately compare the right things together. So if I do, I like to do my bigger one here, 104 over 24. And then equals 143 over 33. And then my 3 dash is 156 over my large here is 36. Okay, and you could reduce these if you want to. They're kind of big numbers, so all I did was plug them into the calculator. And no matter which way you order them, if you do 104 over 24, or if you do the other way around where you do the smaller ones on top, you just want to get the same decimal when you're dividing. So if you use your calculator and divide these two things, you get 4 and 1/3, 4 and 1/3. If I divide those two, I'm getting 4 and 1/3. And then let's double check that last one. You have to make sure all 3 of them work. Don't be fooled. You can't just do 2 of them. So if I do 156 divided by 36, I get 4 and 1/3. Excellent. So these guys are similar by side, side, side. Now, CDE is how it's already marked. So CDE. So I went from my 2 dash to my 3 dash. So I have to go from my 2 dash to my 3 dash here. So that's going to be MLK. triangle MLK. All right, excellent job, friends. If you have any questions, let your teacher know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.